So just let me know once you are ready to start the session.
We are ready to start, ma'am. Shall I start now?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Good evening, wonderful people, and a very warm welcome back to the day 4 of the Professional Development Program of ICH G6P E6 Guideline. It is truly fantastic to see you so many rejoining us. I sincerely hope the day 3 left you feeling inspired and with plenty of fresh insights to ponder. As we step into tonight's sessions, we are not just continuing, we are diving even deeper into the very heart of what makes clinical research trustworthy, ethical, and ultimately life changing. These aren't just a topic, but the pillars upon which the medical advancement stands, and it is my privilege to explore them with you. Tonight, Ms. Sarabjit Sidhu will be unraveling two absolute foundational topics that every single one of us connected needs to master. First is consist of protocol contents and the types of clinical study design, and then we'll have a critical look on informed consent and the consenting process. Think of these as a blueprint and the moral compass on which the every successful trial depends. Understanding them isn't just about the compliance, it's about making real and positive impact. So, without any further ado and genuine excitement for what she is about to share, please join me in extending the warmest possible welcome to Ms. Sarabjit Sidhu. Ms. Sindhu, this platform and our full attention, all are yours. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Tuti. Let me share a screen and do let me know once you are able to see the slides. I hope slides are there.
Yes, ma'am, they are visible.
Okay, perfect. So I have put it on a slideshow. All right. So today, as the host introduced us, that we will be covering two foundation topics. One is the protocol, and second is the ICF. Um, so we will be covering ICF first. It is little simple one than the protocol. But if you go to the actual world, we write first protocol, then based on the protocol, we write ICF. Right. So that's the process. If you are trying to see from a medical writing perspective, then the protocol is a source document for an informed consent form. And one more fact, why these two topics are clubbed together when we are writing also, mostly these two documents we write together, because as I told, a lot of information come from protocol in ICF. So when medical writers, they work on developing these two documents, we write as a package. So if you face sometime an interview, then people can ask you that, do you write protocol, ICF along with protocol? You can say without any hesitation, yes. Okay, so informed consent form, we have already foundation, because on our very first day, we gone through the history of ethics, right? Informed is, there are two parts of informed consent form. One is informed, which means I am sharing all the information, all the possible information with me, with the patient. That is informed. The consent is, we are taking their agreement, yes or no. That is consent. Basically, what we are trying to say, this form is that we are sharing all the information with the patient or a research participant, and taking their consent. Now, there are certain pillars of informed consent process. It is a little revision. If you go back to our Nuremberg Code, our Declaration of Helsinki, on our very first day, does it remind you something? This is what the Declaration of Helsinki: protect the autonomy of a subject, and protect the rights of the subject. Now, this word, can you see the voluntarily? It is literally coming from the Nuremberg Code, which came into existence after the Nazi strike. And the patient must be well informed. The research requires informed consent form. It is illegal if you are doing research without informed consent form. Do you know, whenever there's something major happens, where is the maximum attention from the regulators? Which document attracts the maximum attention from the regulator? It is not clinical science report, clinical study report. It's not your protocol. It is your informed consent form. They review informed consent form and even the consenting process too deep, because this is where they find that maybe people's rights are not protected, they are not well informed, maybe something misunderstanding has happened. Okay, the another point is that informed consent form, whatever the document we are using, it should be approved by ethics committee. Now, we also spoken about, I'm also talking about what we have already learned, right? Kind of a connection, you have to connect it. In the recent Declaration of Helsinki, which has been revised in 2024, as I shared with you, the role of, they have emphasized a lot on the role of ethics committee. They are expecting more from an ethics committee, that you should be involved there. And it is a shared process. This is definition by GCP. You can also, as I showed you, download the document and can learn the actual definition. It is a process. First of all, it is a process. This is also a question, sometimes a trick question interviewer may ask you, that is informed consent a one-time process? No, it is an ongoing process, ongoing event, because if something new has came into, you have to share it with patient. So it's always ongoing. This is why it is known as a process, which participant voluntarily confirms their willingness to participate in the trial. They confirm you that yes, we are ready to participate only after they are being informed about all the aspects of the trial, good, bad, anything, even an little comfort, like maybe you are taking a blood sample, that someone may not be very comfortable with the needle, and you have shared all the information, even you have given them a time to make their decision. If they suppose, I give you little detail here. Suppose in actual setting when you are taking a consent. So suppose I am the Sarabjit Sidhu is taking a consent from someone. I have told them about everything. These are benefits, these are risks. For 2 years, you have to stay in this area. We may take a blood sample from you 2 to 3 times. All that. Then at the end, if patient asks, okay, I'm not sure, but can I take this form and discuss with my family? So this thing, when he or she said, can I take this form and talk about it in my family? That also I have to write in my summary. When I'm writing a consenting form summary, I have to write that patient has requested for a time. You can give that person that I say, and they may join, they may not join. Right? So it is always, documentation means written, signed, and dated. Date is very important, because you can start any study related procedure after ICF only. You can't start even cautionary, taking any information from a patient without signing ICF. Now there are certain sections in element, or you can say ICF. This is the minimum information. This is as per WHO template. This is also very good tip if you are in some research or you are a student. Easily you can download WHO ICF template very easily, right? These are the minimum information that should be there in your informed consent form, and this may vary from organization to organization, but on a high level, this much information should be there. Trial involved research, a statement. Purpose of the trial, treatment option of the trial, randomization, trial procedure. Now, from where you will get this information? Protocol. Subject responsibility, very generic. That again, you can take this from bit of information from a protocol, that you have to be compliant with the process and procedure. If you are not feeling okay, you have to inform a study team. What aspect of the trial? Those are experimental. Again, from protocol. Risk and benefit. Protocol. Expected benefit. This little maybe you can refer IV, investigator brochure, or what are the alternate options are available, because this is also important aspect of when you are also taking a consent form. You can say that, okay, if you are not ready to participate in this trial, what are other treatment those are available in the market. Standard of care, basically. Expected duration, how long this trial will be. Is it for a 2 year? Is it for 5 year? Or is it for a 6 month? Whatsoever is, you have to share it with the patient. Compensation and treatment related injury. If suppose patient is throughout 2 years of time, as per protocol, patient is making 5 visits. 5 times they are required to come to the site or a hospital. By their wish, they can come as many days as they, but this is what is required by protocol. So as per our labor laws, you say that you have to compensate a person for that days of job loss, salary loss, because even that person is on job, he has to take a leave, correct? So like it is ranging between 500 to 700. So as per Delhi, it is 700 as of now, in today's date and time. So that compensation you talk about. And another is trial related injury. Suppose, how about if person falls sick, who will take care of that medical treatment, right? Any other payment, even any other compensation. Maybe they are giving some e-devices. These days are very common, like electronic diary, watches, something like that, to note down the data. But after, once the trial is over, these things will like example, if they have given them mobile phone or a Apple Watch or something, they will stay with the patient, right? So that they also have to speak about. Expenses any anticipated if they have to travel to a clinic. What expense that can be extra to them? Maybe they have to reimburse. Participation is voluntarily. Confidentiality agreement, our GCP principle, that this all the information that you are giving here as a part of a clinical trial, it will be staying confidential. And that's the reason our clinical trial transparency is becoming big every day. Now you have all these advanced, you can say that job roles also, randomization as well as a redaction, that you redact the information. You also tell them that you may withdraw at any time without any penalty. This also is a part of your protocol. These few information, these are not anywhere they are compensation, any treatment, any payment, expense anticipated, participation voluntary. This is one sentence there in a protocol, but part of this information is also additional, which come from a sponsor. They can withdraw their consent without any penalty, and this is also a statement in the protocol. Whom they can contact, study information, write for the subject related injury. They are always, these are general contacts they are given, and active mobile numbers and email IDs. They are also being informed, like approx number of subject, like is it 1000, 2000, how many, duration of the study, access to source document, can they have access to their record, any relevant new information communication. If there is something new came in, they have to share with the patient. I give you one example, because COVID is very popular, right? 221, when suppose, just I forget the actual dates. Suppose March 2021, COVID vaccine came in market. But other sponsors were also doing a trial. Still, here is only. Now, the moment this is available in the market, suppose this is pharma X, this is Y. Now, Y pharma has to tell their all patients that by another pharma company, this vaccine is already there. Do you want to change your mind? Right? So you have to inform. This is one of the major example I have given. Suppose there is another example. They're saying earlier we were having 1,000 patients, but now team feels that they are not able to find all the patients. They changed this to narrow down 500 only. They spoke to a statistician, and statistician said that with the advanced modeling, I will be able to manage within the 500. Right? So this also you have to inform. If there is any amendment, that also you have to inform to a patient. Correct language and level. If there is any risk to fetus, this is, if you will pick any informed consent form, if it is not meant for a pregnant ladies or a expecting families, so then there is will be always a sentence in exclusion criteria that if you are planning to have a baby, or you're planning to start a family, please do not participate. Or during the course of a clinical trial, if you become aware that you are pregnant, you should, that you should stop immediately. You should inform investigator. Why this is? Because we have seen in a thalidomide tragedy, new drugs, we don't know the impact on a fetus. So most of the protocols you will find this sentence. Need to see, this is most of time there is reason for a termination. If trial got terminated by any reason, it may be planned. Sometimes planned also. They will say we will do analysis in midway. If we see that we are not getting the result what we are expecting, we will stop, or any other reason. So that you should be informing participants. Now this is one part. Now we are moving to the process, how you will take consent in the actual setting, because some of you may be doing your trial, some of maybe soon become CRC or other important roles that where you may take consent. One is very clear: subject, if it is adult and in his or her conscious, they can take the consent, right? Now, if subject is unable, maybe a minor, less than 18, right? Maybe not in his or her full senses. So that means they are legally representative. Legally acceptable representative can give the consent. In case of a minor or a dementia, or other mental situations, uh, subject should be informed to the extent they are able to understand. So for a children, you should be taking a assent. Now this assent is evolving a lot. They're saying that tell the kids as much as they can understand, maybe in the form of a comic, maybe in the form of a video. This new E6 guideline, those are has been revised. They are saying go beyond, go, take the use the modern technology for the consenting. This is our new thing. Or even they're saying teleconsenting, right? So remote consenting. So that's the new things they are talking about in the revised guidelines. So you take a assent from a children and then consent from their parents. I will explain you in our coming slide as well. And now, whose responsibility also this consent form? If you wanted to see, now try carefully. We have gone through our responsibilities of investigator. Who is, where all this process happens? Site. Who is in charge of site? Investigator. No matter, he can delegate these responsibility further to his or her team, but ultimately he is responsible. Suppose now I give you one example. Suppose there is one ICF, they found serious violations. If there is a lawsuit, who will be answerable in the court? Of course, sponsor will be there, but ultimately it will fall in the court of an investigator. ICF, right? So patient care with the investigator side, even if it is delegated, again, his or her responsibility, and consenting process should be done before any study related procedure is done. This is again very important. Before you do any procedure related to study, consenting should be done. Consent must be signed and personally dated by subject, legally represented, acceptable representative, consented, the person who is taking a consent. Now, as per modern, is they are saying e-signs are also acceptable. So, so we are becoming more innovative. We are trying to include the technology as we are growing. So subject should sign their legally acceptable representative if subject is not giving the consent, or as well as the consenter who is taking the consent. Now, legally acceptable representative, if suppose subject or legally acceptable representative, they are not able to read and write. That happens in our, like my grandmom, she was not able to read and write. So in that case, impartial literate witness is required. But that person should not be for part of a study team. Very important. It's not like that nurse is standing along with the, standing there, she can be an impartial witness. What is the role of impartial witness? Impartial witness role is that okay, the person has been informed verbally, but it is matching what is written. Because the person, subject or LAR, if they are not able to read and write, so there should be someone to validate. So this is, they attest the fact that the consenting has been done in a right way. Now, if someone is able to sign, that doesn't mean that they don't need impartial witness, because they are just able to sign it. They are not able to read the whole ICF. So this is a bit of revision. That who should sign: consent, subject, consenter, LAR, impartial witness. Suppose subject is educated, these two are enough. But if LAR, if subject is not adult or a minor, then this. If subject and LAR both are not able to read and write, then only we need an impartial witness. So third and fourth are subject. They are conditional. The one copy is given to subject, the other copy is goes to the investigator file. So this is bit more on informed consent under 18, that you will take where it is written, yes, two processes. So you will take assent from a child to take their affirmation, and then from consent from their parents or their legally acceptable representative. So in this case, child and parent both say yes. So if parents say no or child say yes, then also no, or a vice versa. So both should say yes. And in case of patient is not in coma or emergencies, then as I told you, LAR, legally acceptable representative, should be there. And if they are not literate, that impartial witness should be present to understand the process. Now here is an additional guidance also. This also came from a declaration of Helsinki, like what to do in case patient is in coma or in emergency. They're saying that the moment patient gains conscious, take consent. Even same in now, that also been revised. They're saying that, okay, just imagine child was of 16. The trial went ahead for 3 years. Now the moment child touched 18, take consent. Because now he's capable of taking decision for his, herself or for himself. Similarly, if the patient is out from coma, take a consent. And or if you are going to take a approval from these emergencies, you must be having approval from a ethics committee. So this is a little diagram that give summarize you the whole consenting process. So just follow with me. First, just imagine the patient is this blue line. Follow first. We are first following blue line, then yellow, then purple, right? So patient is literate, adult, literate, very good condition. No problem for consenting team. He will come, will sign, date, done. Very nice, excellent. Now patient is not literate, he's illiterate. He can use his left thumb impression or non-dominating hand, you can say. But that is one part of the story. We also need LAR, legally acceptable representative, if that person is there, right? So if that is literate, then sign and date, right? But if that person is also illiterate, then you need literate impartial witness. So these are the processes you can follow. Now question come to medically incompetent person. So one is they also have to follow this yellow route. They maybe suppose wife is sick, husband is there, so husband can be legally acceptable representative. Now if husband is illiterate, he said I can't read and write, then again he need impartial witness, someone to confirm that if what is written it's the same but they're telling us. But if he is illiterate, good sign. Now here is another purple line, you can see medically incompetent but on a recovery take a consent again. That is the job of the person who is taking consent, team at a site. So documentation is why documentation is important, because independent reviewer, suppose you are facing audit tomorrow or an inspection, even a monitoring, so they will be reviewing your consenting process. So please remember couple of tips. Informed consent form should be written first of all, voluntarily, should be taken from every subject before study start, related procedure must be approved by ethics committee as per GCP and Declaration of Helsinki. So informed consent is not a piece of paper. It is not just a signature. It is the process to ensure that you are protecting the patient. So your number one GCP principle, ethics. This is how practically you are applying. Even couple of principles they are covered in the informed consent process, voluntarily informed consent process, then another GCP principle. What else? Confidentiality, that also plays a role here. So lot many GCP principles they are covered in the consenting process. So this is summary that informed consent document should be documented in way that it's everything is clear, complete, and correct. Now monitors, they are the first ones during monitoring, they are going to review ICF, right? Then audit, then inspection. Once we face the inspection from a regulatory body, they just reviewed 5 files. And in 5 files also, they reviewed the ICF of each patient. And they were having a lot many questions on the ICF. Okay. Do you want to answer this? You can keep your answer in chat box. I'm not reading, just you can take a look and can answer. It's easy. We have covered it. Let me see. Excellent. Excellent. Swiping a screen is a bit difficult for me. Most of you have given the right one. Now, study protocol. Just give me a moment. I'm coming back. Just stay here on why protocol is important. I'm just coming in 1 minute. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. Why protocol is important? Now, for a moment, just imagine if your teacher has told you to do one experiment in lab without your lab manual or without giving you any instruction. How you will do it? You will feel clueless. So that is why protocol is needed. So I'm not going in deep for first slide. I will explain to you a little later. But so now, if you also want to see that who write a protocol, sometimes why I want to clarify. Sometimes medical writers think they newcomers who wanted to be a medical writer, they think they will be responsible for everything. No, no, not at all. This is a misunderstanding. You are a center part as a medical writer. You will be connecting the whole team. Maybe suppose you just imagine you are working at a CRO, contract research organization. Now there will be someone from a sponsor side, which is known as a sponsor POC. Investigator may also give you the inputs, not all the time, but sometimes. Study stat is very important person. All the important information like number of participants, he will be giving you the calculation. Now, clinical team, you are physician, scientist, PK scientist, even patent attorney, a legal person. They all will be helping you to write a protocol. So now this is important and this is easier also for your interviews, for your quick, where you want to shine quickly, you can remember this. Now, protocol is, what is protocol? In general term, it is a plan. That's it. But a solid plan. A plan which we can show to a regulatory body. Look, this is a written plan. So the only difference in this plan or in general plan is that we can't change it again and again without permission. We can show to the regulatory, we can show to our teams, like, look, you have to follow this, right? So what we talk about in this plan, what are the certain questions that we answer in this? First, the goal of your study. Is it a safety? What you really want to do in your trial, that you have to speak in the protocol. Second, where you want to do your trial. Number of sites. Oh, sorry. Number of sites. Is it a multi-centric? Only one? Multi-country trial? Why you are doing? Why there is a need? See, in a GCP principle, if you remember, we have studied scientifically sound protocol. Is it really needed? Why you wanted to do this research? On whom you will be doing? Inclusion, exclusion criteria, admission criteria. Basically, if you wanted to explain in a very simpler language, you can say admission criteria, like maybe above 18, maybe only female, maybe only male, maybe, age group between 60 to 80. It's maybe infants, that you will be defining here. Who is doing this trial? Which pharma company, which investigator? Then patient is going to visit. So if this slide is giving you the whole crux of your protocol. If there is any question, you can drop here in the chat box. I will discuss at that. Now, as per ICH, what are the minimum sections of a protocol? Title page, non-negotiable. Most of the all the clinical trial documents, they will be having a title page. Background information, objectives, trial design, when patient can withdraw, treatment of subject. See, look at this. Assessment of efficacy, assessment of safety. When we started our session on a very first day, we said definition of a clinical research is it answered two questions. One, is it safe? One, is it working? So how assessment means how you will measure that it's working. What are the methods? How you will measure safety? Stat section. Now, I will give you little advanced tip. Can you see all these sections? They go as such to your clinical study report. When you will be writing your clinical study report, all this information you will be copying from here to in a clinical study report. The only difference is present to past. Protocol you write in a present language. CSR, because study is already done, past. Although this is not topic for today, it is E3 guideline, just little extra. But again, this much information you directly copy from your protocol. Why I am giving you this tip? If you got a chance to work on CSR, don't get any worry that how I will do. It's easy. Source data, documentation, quality control and assurance. How, what is your plan for monitoring? Here you will be telling your monitoring plan. Or your operation team will be giving it to you. Quality assurance, QA team, audits. That team will be ethics or standard statement. Declaration of Helsinki, how you will be handling data, record keeping. Mostly, if you go to big sponsors, quality control, quality assurance, ethic, data handling, publication policy, mostly these stays same. There are always a minor changes. They are a standard languages. So do you know these sections will be popping up in your template? Project timelines flowchart that will be separate for each protocol. I will show you also. I have a dummy one. I will show you references and appendices. Now, you don't start directly writing a protocol. That's a big no. We don't do this. What we do is we work on a proposal. We write first 2 to 5 pages. We outline the proposal. This is highly recommended. What are the different things we talk in this? Like little about hypothesis, goal of the study design, population. What are the test? Evaluation means test. Sample size, approx duration. Okay, so let me explain you the proof of concept, which is 2 to 5 page document. Why we do this? If you wanted to think about a minute, this is done because protocol is a long document, 200 page. Lot many or 100 pages or sometimes 500 pages. Lot many people involved. So you just first what you do is, as a scientific team, you just write a simpler version. so that to understand that are we going in the right direction? Because if there is a problem or issue, it is easy to fix in these small pages, 2 to 5. 200-page document is difficult to fix. Now, drafting of study protocol. We will talk about each section separate. Very first, we give the general information. If you are having my medical writing book, you will also see one dummy protocol. General information you will be able to get. Okay? Then background information, why you are doing this trial. Trial objective. So this is your phase 1 trial. Just I wanted to give you an idea in a very simpler way. So this is phase 1 trial. What is the goal of phase 1 trial? To assess the safety. That's all. How you will measure? Number of participants, reporting, AEs, adverse events, and essays. That's all. That's all you will measure it. Similarly, suppose there is a trial on a vaccine and phase 2 trial. Immunogenicity, you will be assessing it, right? How it is working along with the assessment of the safety. I'm just trying to give you an idea. General information, you will always keep it short and specific. It's very easy, if you are working in a good organization, most of this information will come there. General information automatically. Main area of interest, broad objective. So this is also part of a general information. Name of the investigator, co-investigator, sponsor, address, labs, because that's why I said that, because this will be standard. So this will be coming to your template automatically. This is where we are taking a leverage of AI and automation, that we need not to add a detail again and again. So this is just purely for an example that how title looks like. In your title, you always give a phase and what type of, which type of a drug and what kind of a treatment you are doing and what type of indication this is. Name of investigator, institution. Now, in the background information, what do you really describe? First of all, you describe about investigational product, its mechanism of action, how it has been discovered, what as of now, how much research already been done, what are the findings from your animal studies, that you also give in background information, what are the potential risk and benefit, and you also give a justification for a route, administration, dose, regime, treatment period. And can you see that this information will be coming from different sources, like your IV and animal studies, so, and this is completed with the help of a study physician, or you can say a research scientist. In some organization, it is also known as a PK scientist, right? You will also be giving a statement that this trial will be conducted as a GCP and regulatory authorities. Suppose although GCP is not a regulation, but because here it is stated, we will follow it. And tomorrow there is a DCGI inspection. They found you have not followed the GCP. They can put you in a jail. Description of population studies, reference to literature, and the relevant data to provide the background of the trial, that for this particular indication, this treatment is already available, what is the gap, and what we are trying to do differently. Now, study objectives and purpose. These are mostly divided into primary and secondary, and sometimes tertiary also. What is the meaning of a primary? Suppose your primary goal is safety. Phase 1. Phase 1 primary safety. And in safety, what we are measuring? A's and SAs. If you failed to achieve primary, that means your study will be labeled as a failure. right? So sponsors avoid that. This is the reason mostly they try to keep a primary objective only one, not too many. Secondary, they are additional objective, may not be essential. If you fail to achieve them, it's okay. Now, in a methodology, that is design of your trial, is it a retrospective? If it is an observational study, more interventional trial, that your phase 1 to phase 4, they are mostly prospective. What will be the control group or without control group? Which randomization you are using? Are you doing a parallel design or a crossover? Is it open label, single blind, double blind? Single blind is that patient doesn't know. Double blind, research team as well as patient doesn't know which treatment is administered. Is it an interventional trial or non-interventional? Interventional means you are giving new drug. Non-interventional, suppose you're just observing, you are not giving new drug. So I also wanted to explain you study design. What is a parallel study design? Suppose you are having a treatment A and B. So you are having a 1000 patient. 500 you divided into group A, 500 you divided into group B. Maybe here you are giving a treatment B and first you are giving a treatment. So no one will be knowing. This will be done by the randomization. Randomization like flip of the coin. Head is put it in treatment group A, tail put it in a treatment B, group B, right? Like that. And that will be done by the computerized program. No one know, everything will look like same. So treatment A and treatment B, you will equally divide the participants, and the same way, if they are having visit 1, they will also be having visit 1, visit 2, visit 3, like that. So they will be following the same treatment. There will be no exchange. That is parallel. Now the crossover, this is very important design. Sometimes sponsor do in a phase 2 trials, mostly. So suppose now here is a treatment A, and here is a B. This is a group 1, group 2. So you exchange their treatment midway. Now, say treatment A, they completed 2 visits. Visit 1, visit 2, they have completed. Now here, you will give them a washout period. Washout means gap, like a 15 days, no drug. That means whatever the drug is in them, it will get washed away. 15 is, I'm just giving you standard time. Sometimes it is a 7 days, sometimes it is a 21 days, depending on the type of a drug. Now you will switch their drugs. So group 1 will be coming here in a treatment B. So for first 2 visits, they received treatment A. Then you will give them some time gap, wash the drug from a body, then you will give them a treatment B. That is a crossover. Now about group 2, you initially, suppose example, for first 2 visits, you given them treatment B. Now you will be giving them treatment A. So on a same person, you wanted to see on a same, how the same person is responding to different treatments. Now what will be the best, what they're trying to compare here? Suppose, let's say treatment A is a placebo. They will be seeing during first 2 visits how the person responded to, what are their parameters in a placebo group, and how about in the treatment B group. It may be some new drug. So that at the end they will be having some data to compare. That's a study design, crossover study. Study population, they have to share that what type of population they are selecting. Is it above 18, or which age group they are taking, 18 to 60 or 40 to 30 or 40 to 50, what age group they are taking, admission criteria, whom they are taking, who they are not taking, when they can withdraw, what the sample size is needed. This is given by stat team. Treatment doses, like they will name the dose, route, dosing schedule, even a packaging and labeling of the drug, accountability, other medication if it is allowed, procedures to monitor the compliance, how they will monitor that patient is taking a treatment on a time or not. So this is what I am saying, that this is very important if you will be doing any type of research. It is known as a study flow. See here, mostly what we choose to do, take a printout and paste it in front of us. See, phase, day, visit, screening, run-in, randomization, treatment, follow. See here, informed consent, screening, here it is happening. Day 1, visit 1. Medical history, same day they are taking. Physical exams, here they are taking. They are also taking physical exams in a run-in period, randomization also, treatment also, day 4 also. Just this is hypothetical. So anyone who will be picking this chart, okay, this person came for a physical exam. Which day is it? Is 5. All these 5 activities will happen. Okay, day 1, all these activities will happen. See, this is some type of scale they are using. Subject, global assessment, quality of life. Screening they are doing, treatment they are doing. So this type of a graph or a flow chart is prepared when you are writing a protocol. And it is with the help of a contribution of a whole team, including operations team. Now, statistical consideration, the sample size. How many subjects are important to have a sufficient data? Because at the end, you have done such a hard work. It should not be like that we are not having a sufficient data. So when the stat is calculating all this, they take certain assumptions, level of significance, power calculation, which is known. Suppose they're saying we need 1000 subject to reach on some conclusion. So maybe they will be giving based on their calculation 1200 or a 1300. How? They will take everything into account, like maybe someone has missed a dosing, few participants may withdraw, they will take a assumption. Here it is said, assumption is like maybe 10% of the participants withdraw. Suppose it is a pediatric trial, children, small infants are involved. Maybe that assumption will be based on how they will assume, based on literature. Maybe that drop rate may be 15%. So all that they will give the calculation. As a medical writer, you will ask these questions to stat, that give me data. Data collection, how the team will be collecting the data, that should be written in the protocol, like how they will be developing a case report form. Questionnaire is there. Time of a collection, when they will be collecting a data. The flow chart is going to help you. Baseline, like day 1, during treatment follow-up. Who will collect the data? Who will collect the data is very much further defined in your SOPs. Like ICF, who will collect the data at the time of a randomization screening? Your CRC, who is taking a consent. Suppose blood sample, who will collect the data for this? Your phlebotomist. Drug administration, who will collect the data for this? Nurse. So like that is when you will be collecting a data, a table and diagrams for a schedule or should be included in your protocol. Administrative section, very easy. Access to source document, ethics, quality control assurance, data handling, finance insurance, publication policy, confidentiality. These are administrative action. sections. Why I'm running little faster here? Because they are very much standard. If you are working within one organization, they're not going to change much. There will be here and there little change, but they will be remaining same. And if suppose tomorrow you are working as a freelancer, you can also take inspiration for all these sections from already approved available protocols. Or an appendices, we will attach everything like the case report form, say declaration of Helsinki, any scale or questionnaire we are using specific to our protocol. Maybe some questionnaire related to our quality of life. Package insert, that will be added. So in a summary, protocol should be very clear, concise document that set up ground for the success of your study. Suppose if your planning is poor, then your execution will also be poor. Say, just imagine today if I was not having good slides, will I be able to deliver the session? No, because if I'm not having a slide, no matter how much I know, I won't be able to communicate with you. Start early. That's a very good tip for a protocol writing team. So if you start writing protocol in advance, you are in a good position because you will be having a lot of time to discuss and take the right decision. Standard formats for completeness and readability. So for grammar and everything, sentence structure, our job has been done, made a lot easier with the automation, with the, these grammar check tools, right? That's easy. Standard format we are already using. Early inputs facilitate the review. So now you are as a medical writer or a newcomer in the team, how you can help a team to write a protocol. If you are not clear at any point, ask them the right questions. So suppose you are not clear about stat section, something is not very clear. Send an email to your study statistician. Could you please provide this detail at the earliest? Right? Suppose, say example, this is little deep. Publication policy. You don't know what statement you have to write. You must be having some publication team. You send them a question. Could you please check this, right? So that's all from my side. We can happily take up the questions now.
Ma'am, do you want me to pick up the questions for you?
I will take. Don't worry.
Okay, sure.
Okay. There is one question, ma'am. LAR is involved only when participant is unable to understand the process. Legally acceptable representative. Okay, right. What is the use of involving illiterate LAR if participant can understand the process? So, okay. I think you got little confused. I can clarify. Suppose take an example. LAR legal. So when we need a LAR, first of all, we need LAR only when we are in ourselves are not able to give a consent. What are those consent? One, I can be a minor. I'm less than 18. My mom, dad are my LAR. That is one thing. Another is maybe wife. She's in hospital, emergency. She can't decide for herself. She's not conscious. So husband can be LAR. Now question number 2. Now, for in this example, both example I have given, for a kid and for a wife, neither husband is literate nor parents are literate. They are legally acceptable representative. They can decide, one can decide for his or her kid, another can decide for his wife, but they are not able to read and write. Then that is the place when we need a witness, that whatever is said to them is is the same that is written. That is one example. See, that you have touched on LAR and impartial witness. Now, another example is impartial witness when you need, suppose I myself is a subject, I am a research participant, I am a 30-year-old person, I can decide everything for myself, but I am not able to read and write. Then I need just impartial witness. I hope that's clear now. Ma'am, suppose a person is knowing basic Hindi but can't write or sign his LAR, doesn't know Hindi, so in which language? No, Hindi, English is not a problem. So originally what is said to us is that you develop any document, say protocol ICF in a English, that we are doing. Then further, you have to translate that ICF in a local language. Suppose you are taking this informed consent form in Goa, Konkani, local language it should be in a local language. If it is in, say, Maharashtra, it should be in a Marathi. So the Hindi, English, this doesn't play any role in informed consent form. Suppose your patient is in Spain. They don't speak English fluently, Spanish. Yeah. So that's how you take into account. I am not, there is one comment. Okay. There is, in this case, ICF should be in a language that is, so that's clear. So ICF should be in that language. What is the role of pharmacology pass out in a clinical trial? So you can do a job, you can find your role, you can either be work in a clinical operations, either can work as a medical writing, pharmacovigilance. What is the good one advantage that you have in comparison to life sciences student? You have an advantage that you already have a knowledge of a pharmacology. That is going to help. Suppose if you are very good in student, you know your pharma and everything, you can also work in a medical affair. You can be a medical advisor. Earlier, they were not taking pharma as a medical advisor, but now things are changing. You can work as a medical monitor, medical advisor, everything. I have seen few clinical science leads. They are coming from pharmacology background. Okay. Ma'am, if legally acceptable representative is illiterate, just like I given you example, husband and wife, right? Husband is LAR for wife, but he is not able to read and write. Impartial witness is needed. Husband can decide, but impartial witness will sign there that what is written, it's the same what they are being told. It's just like a property paper, we always need some witness or a legal document. You need a witness. Yeah. Okay. If I'm missing some question, you can paste it again. Ma'am, which age group children can involve? Which age group? Any age group. Even I was working with WHO, we were doing the trial on 45 days infant. If it is a requirement of a research, you can take children of any age, but there are certain things. Suppose we wanted to do a trial on infants, example, like I have given you example because that drug was for children, right? So you have to first do a trial on adults, like at least one phase. Suppose once you will starting a phase one, first phase one you will be doing on adults. That this is safe. Then once you have a good amount of documentation about a safety, then you will start doing your further clinical trial planning for infants or children. Now, if you go to Europe, we are having a separate guideline. They are also known with the PEP guideline, Article 46. when you're doing a trial in a children. But on any age, we can involve them a research, but you should be having a documentation on the safety. So we in this case generally sponsor the test first on adults, then come to our children. So good question, very nice. Any other question? So I'm just trying to go through if I have not missed anything. You can paste it again, so thank you. I glad you know it. So Tanvi, okay. Sorry. This is just a feedback form. So and guys, you can also go to clinicaltrial.gov. I can paste here. Just 1 minute, huh? Clinicaltrial.gov. You will be able to see lot many clinical trials, and you can also download the protocols. So every day give it like 30-40 minutes to your field. Either go to some official websites like ICGCP, clinicaltrial.gov, or YouTube. Even clinicaltrial.gov also have a YouTube channel. European Union guideline also have their YouTube channel. Good thing with the European Union guideline is that they also sometimes organize webinars, free webinar, totally free webinar. Register yourself, go there, you may learn something, right? So you have to make it a part of your everyday's what you say schedule, that you will learn little and little every day, so that after some time you are very strong in your knowledge of a clinical trial. So if you are having any more questions, just let me know. Thanks, dear.
As we bring the day 4 to the close, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to Ms. Sarabjit Sidhu for her incredible, insightful, and comprehensive presentations tonight. Thank you, Ms. Sindhu, for sharing your invaluable expertise and making this crucial topic so clear and engaging. And so, all of you, our wonderful participants, thank you for your active presence, engagement, and dedications tonight. It's your commitment to the learning that truly makes the professional development program such a vibrant and enriching experience. We covered crucial grounds today, and I'm excited for what's next. Please join us right back tomorrow, Saturday, July 19, at the same time, as we continue our journey into the more vital aspects of clinical research. Have a wonderful evening, and we are eagerly looking forward to see you then. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye. Good night.